Okay, you guys, this is a lot. I'm going to try to give you some backstory as much as I have figured out. For those who are not aware, this is Brene and Devin. They were a couple. They were married. This story went down on the Clock app. They are now going through a divorce because Brene decided she wanted to be with Tim. Tim is not only Devin's friend, but his cousin, first cousin at that. So Brene decided that she wanted to get with his cousin. Backstory to that is Brene and Tim used to date in school. Y'all might be wondering, well, Devin, why would you marry her knowing that she dated your cousin back in school? Well, Devin explains that they were just kids back then. It was years ago. He didn't think anything of it. And Tim had also moved on with his life and was married with kids to someone named Akira. Now, Tim and Akira and Devin and Brene used to hang out. They used to vibe and chill. You can find pictures and videos and stuff on their social media platforms of them hanging and, chilling. Well, Akira is suing Brene because she feels like she utilized the information that she gained within their friendship to break up her marriage. She claimed they were happy up until the point that Brene interjected. They have an actual open court case, a pending court case. In July, at some point, I read that Brene actually asked for an extension to prepare for her response. So Akira is serious. Well, Devin did a live finally, I guess, like breaking his silence. People have said he's been very quiet throughout this ordeal, and he finally kind of tells his truth. So let's check out what he had to say. What would you do in this situation? I can't imagine. I hope this breakdown kind of gave you some insight. Let's get into it.
What's good? I've been struggling to even want to speak out about the situation, but for the people who do know of me and Brene's divorce, it is not because of, we ain't even divorced yet, actually. We're still in the separation phase, but yes, she is wanting to be in a relationship with my cousin again. And people would normally have questions or opinions about why would I marry somebody that she dated. But a lot of people don't know that was back in 2013, 2014. We was all teenagers. So that relationship really didn't mean nothing to me now because we're grown. And around this time, he's married with kids. But the damage that has been done to me throughout this whole little process is taking a toll on me. It's been driving me kind of crazy a little bit because I've been wanting to speak out about it just because the simple fact of all of this stuff that y'all see on the internet be so fake, bro. Y'all may say I never looked happy with her in the videos and whatnot, but y'all don't know nothing that went on behind closed doors or behind the camera. People don't know what I had to go through. People don't know what I had to deal with. But I'm not going to make it seem like I didn't have my faults either. Yes, I had some ways about myself too. But I never once thought about stepping out of my marriage to go be with somebody else. To sit here and say that I'm happy to see my wife with another man, no, I'm not. But I had to let that go just so I wouldn't continue to get myself hurt by chasing somebody who don't want to be with me. Do I wish we could have worked things out? Yes. Any married couple would. But it has to be a team effort. But when it's not, it's not going to work. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I've struggled with just moving forward from this situation because it's like it's been a lot of unanswered questions, but everything has been shown through actions. So I have no choice but to accept my reality now and face the fact that things ain't gonna be the same ever again. I never once thought that going into marriage that it was gonna go like this. But when people got other plans, they could really care less about you. And at this point, after this video, if it ruffles feathers and people feel some type of way about me, I could care less. To have somebody that you loved so dearly play with your heart the way they did, it really shows you that you really don't know people for who they really are. And it's just crazy to me how you can sit there and tell somebody that you love them, but then sit there and betray them like that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I thought getting over this little situation would be so easy. I've even tried to move on myself, made the mistake of trying to move on too early, and I've hurt people, and hopefully they forgive me. But to have to go through life, they're feeling this pain, it's tough. And I don't really think a lot of people really speak out about it, but waking up, not feeling that joy that you used to feel because somebody stripped it away from you. They just took your heart and ran with it. All because of their lack of letting go. It sucks. Like, for my wife to sit there and tell me that she loves another man is crazy to me. Like, you really had the nerve to sit there and tell me that to my face, that you love him and you don't want to hate him because he slept with your sister, and that you want to squash out those little feelings that you got towards him. But me trying to be understanding, I'm like, all right, go squash your little beef or whatever. So they do that. And then now she wants to go spend Christmas with him and his family. And I'm like, I mean, we didn't really plan that, but all right, that's cool. We go do something different, spend quality time with them, I guess. But that whole week, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. It was a lot of them spending time together while their spouses are sitting there looking like, what is going on right now? And it's like in that moment, I kind of realized like they got something going on, and it kind of made sense in the end, because after they made their little video together where she didn't want me in it with them, I called a little attitude, and she got mad at me for getting the attitude. And then when we get back home after that Christmas weekend, I had a wedding ring, a new wedding ring that I had for her birthday. I gave it to her. She didn't even open it. And at that moment, I knew something was going on, but I didn't think much of it. And then when I go to my cousin about how I felt about that situation where they was making that video and she didn't want to put me in it, I guess she overheard me talking about it to him. And she asked me like, why can't you express that to me? But I already knew I wasn't gonna be heard if I was to bring that to her. So I'm like, I ain't even gonna waste my breath. And should I have did that? No. But when I'm not being heard, I'm not about to keep forcing myself to be heard. And then a couple days after that, she want to hit me with she want to separate, but not to separate to divorce, but separate to better our relationship. And I'm like, we can just do that now. We haven't even tried counseling, but she feels like separation is the best way to go. And then Martin Luther King weekend comes up, and the crazy thing about that is, she ain't robbing me down there. She wanted to go down to my cousin and them house again. She ain't robbing me. She had my cousin come pick her up. And in that moment, I knew what was going on. I realized I was trying to get played with. So I drive down there Friday night after I got off work. I get down there, try and give her a hug and kiss. She didn't want me to touch her. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, can we at least go outside and try and talk? No. And then later on that night, she wanted to hit me with she wanted a divorce. I'm like, bro, y'all get like, at that moment, I realized like I'm getting played with. So I came up with a little joke, and I was like, our proposal was fake. I made it seem real only because your mama came downstairs. And that broke her, I guess. That hurt her feelings to her core. But in that moment, I didn't care, because I already knew I was getting played with. But should I have made that little joke? No, but it is what it is. So the Saturday of that Martin Luther King weekend, we all go to this little park. And Tim and his wife is over there having a conversation. And me and Brene having a conversation. And I ask her, I'm like, do y'all got something going on? And she asked me, how would you feel, hypothetically, how would you feel if me and Tim were to recant? And in that moment, I already knew. I'm like, because the night before, they was already talking about getting back together. So in that moment, I'm like, oh, I'll be happy for y'all. Not really meaning it, but it's like, I'm not about to sit there and force myself to try and fight for a relationship where you want to be with somebody else. To take it a step further, I started playing along with their game. She wanted to hit me with we get back home after Martin Luther King weekend, she hit me with she want to start bringing guys over. I'm like, nah, if you gonna be with Tim, you can bring him over. They do that. They sleep in the bed together, whatnot. She made it seem like she was gonna sleep with me, but nah, she slept with. And in them moments, I'm like, yeah, all right. I kind of got my feelings a little bit, but I'm like, I took my L, cried about it. Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt to see it. But at that point, I just had to see it for myself to see if it was really real. And it was. And I'm pretty sure they're going to say something about me after this little video. But it is what it is. Whatever.